Hello, bro. Since Update 1.4 was just released yesterday by QOL, so I will discuss all the latest things regarding Update 1.4, including the number of Asterites or descriptions that were not noticed in the dev kit question. As usual in 1.4, we have several new events which are really good. First, there is the login event Gift of Fleeting Dream, which as usual will also give us 5 RT and 5 LT. Secondly, there is the Depth Elusive Realms event, which has some important information. This time, the theme is about outer space. You can also see detailed pictures here. Honestly, this will be really cool because it will be like we are on Mars. The trial character is Cameliya, Lummy Shortkeeper Yoho, and friends. Then the Deep Illusion Realm is also in the item exchange shop and will reset once a week, but for a reward of 1100 Asterid, which we can only get after getting 8,000 points from working on the dungeon for 1 month. After that, apart from Asterite or XP materials, we can also get Echo Rider Inferno, and there is an invisible skin which applies to all types of weapons. After that, there is an event Beyond the Waves, which can give us 400 Asterite. He will also give us 5 Lusterious Tide after we successfully complete the exploration task. Next, there is the second Tactical Simulacra event, which is a continuation of the previous event. The only difference is that there are several new bosses that will be included in the game. From Evan, we can get 600 Asterite. After that, there is something whose name is still unknown because it is still a placeholder. What is clear is that during this event, we can use several bubs or new effects, which include dribbling, where every resonator that we bring to the event will have several different synergies, and during the dream effect, if the link is triggered, it will provide a combo from the energy we collect, either like combos when attacking enemies simultaneously, or it could be a special trigger like that. Next, there is Elusive Sprint, which after we take Shortcut, we will get Turbo Sprint and make our character able to run fast. This effect will be useful when working on mini-games from Main Event 1.4, because later this event will ask us to take photos or explore several different spots. And these two effects are also said to be permanent effects after the duration of this main event is up. And this event will give us weapon skins with up to 1200 Asterites as well. Next, there is a permanent Pincer Maneuver Warrior event, which from the very long description means that this event will require us to bring 2 different parties. After that, before working on the stage, we can use Buff, which can be paired by both teams at once. And there are some specific buffs that can only be used by one of the party teams. So basically, the buff is choosing Spiral Abyss or other regular events in Wuthering Waves. And each stage will also be divided into 2 types. Namely, there is a stage where we have to collect monster points, like the task of making unlimited waves, to be able to chase the highest score. And the second stage has a time point. That is, later we are required to fight the enemy until a predetermined time. So the point is that there are stages that are assigned to get the highest score, and there are those that are assigned to be similar to the Tower of Adversity. But we don't know yet whether this event can be continuous like Tower of Adversity or something like Overdrive. After that, finally, there is the Cameliya character trial, which is more or less when we want to try using Cameliya POV like this. After that, next we can get additional Asterid from the new version update, the first of which is 2520 Asterite after doing the daily quest for 42 days, starting from November 14th. After that, there are rewards from the extension shop, including 7 LT, 7 RT, and 7 Forging Tides. And there are also 5 Lusterious Tides from the Battle Pass, which are free. Lastly, there are 400 Asterids from Reset and Tower of Adversity 3 times, which for the lineup or buff itself is relevant to the promotion of the Cameliya Lumi character or the rerun of the Yinlin character. After that, there are additional Asterites from additional resources, including 300 Asterites from maintenance compensation, which will be obtained on November 14th, along with 300 more Asterites from bug compensation. or a code intended for new players. And finally, there are 500 Asterites from the Cameliya quest, where we can also get Asterites from several Archievements or chests in the dungeon. And basically, in version 1.4, we can get around 1,300 Asterite, which is equivalent to 76. And it's natural that the number of Asterites you get in 1.4 isn't as much as the 1.3 update, which has a new map, because it's clear that this update is prioritized by our Renashkita prologue, or the story, and there are lots of new QOLs that have been improved again in this update. Okay, first QOL. Previously, we were often confused about the underground entrance, but later the game will add an underground map entrance shortcut that we can see in our minimap. This means we won't be confused anymore, similar to the beginning of the Mt Firmament exploration. After that, the second QOL. Every time we want to go to Tisset Field, we will immediately be teleported to the location, and not instead of being teleported to the nearest web point, like now. After that, for the third QOL in 1.4, every time we search for Echo, we will immediately be shown the main Echo stat, so we don't need to always look in the bag anymore. When we want to upgrade Echo, it is also reported that we can directly set Echo to be able to upgrade to level 5, 10, 15, or 20. After that, for the fourth QOL, previously we had to go to the mind map UI when we wanted to see the wave plate capacity. Now the wave plate capacity top-up will appear on our main screen. Then for the fifth QOL, although it is not yet clear whether it will be in permanent QOL or there will be a special event. But now in Wuthering Waves, there is also a condent resin feature similar to in Genshin. Every time we work on a domain, we can immediately use the wave plate twice as well to be able to claim to have dropped the material twice. After that, finally, there is a new UI that will appear when we are in the Event UI menu. So here you can see that the permanent events are on the right and the event limits are separated on the left. So we will no longer be confused about which events have a time limit and which events can be held later. And of all these QOLs, it's clear that I like the newest QO combo the most, which will come out according to our party's synergy. And this QO will also be used as a permanent combat. This is before there is a new region. This includes a surprise from Kuro, and there is also a new combat added into EndGame. I wonder what other surprises there will be in terms of mechanics. We will discuss several issues in the update at the start of the Renashkita region. More or less, it will be released in version 2.0. First, the various characters complement the Kimura or Rococo banners. In 2.0, there will be a series of Jinshi and Zeji characters. There will be 3 to 4 characters, 2 of which are characters. And when from Nashita, apart from the average character, it has a mid-air issue combat mechanism. We can also transform the rover into an arrow rover. So for those of you who are asking what elements the next rover can be transformed into, here is the latest information. If it's going to be an arrow, not an electro rover,